I already had it pulled up because I backed it. So
Oh,
yeah,
thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you got a custom URL too. Okay, nice.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, I gotta do that. Maybe I'll do that for mittens.
I
Yeah,
stole that from
we did that
Carissa.
already.
Carissa, that's 100% Carissa. She was
Yeah.
like, she just has the tiny URL, and then she just updates the link every time she has a new campaign. So she just uses the same. So people are just used to that. So I was like, I want to do that. She's like, do it.
Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's just
and it's
pale
not
hyphen
that
writer.
bad, especially like the first year. It's just a couple of bucks, really.
It's $3.
Yeah, and it's very good, especially for your SEO and all that, and to double check where people are coming from, and yeah.
So we are live, and we are gonna go around the room, and people are gonna say who they are, what they do, and who's their daddy. No. So we can start with Christian, and then we'll work our way down.
Oh, hello everyone. Hello humans. Take me to your leader. No, sorry. This is Christian Douglas. I'm from Unpopular Comics. I'm based in Dublin, and we hopefully gonna have in a couple of weeks new campaign. Well, in July. The whole idea is July. We were shooting for July 18 to August 18. 30 days, 31 days, something like that, for Pinocchio's #1. It's gonna be the first issue of 4, and this is us. Hopefully, we'll back it. Thank you.
And hi, I'm Brian Wolf. I'm create my own comics. I've got Gravesitter #1. It's a Kickstarter right now. I already got funded. Gravesitter #2 is out, so I'm doing a bundle of both comics now. Right now we're sitting about halfway through my funding goal, so just hoping to get some people to take a look at it. Hopefully we get to talk a bit more about it in the future.
My name is Grant Lankard, and this is my cat Yoshi right here.
Hi, Yoshi.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. And my comic book is called Beowulf. The trade paperback, which is collecting issues 1 through 6, is now in pre-launch. If you give me a second, I will put that in the chat. Or you guys could, you don't have to give me a second. You can keep going. But I'll put it in the chat if that's all right. I can see around my cat.
We can't, but it's still okay.
Cool.
Hey, yay! I got 100 subs.
Hey, Pops.
Hurrah. That's funny.
I'm John Holland from Diebold Comics, and I'm launching Alma tomorrow at 10 a.m. on Kickstarter. What if Buffy was a 72-year-old grandmother?
Freaking awesome. Was it me? Oh, hi, everybody. I'm Lori Calcaterra. I'm the writer-creator of Path of the Pale Rider. We are currently on Kickstarter for issue #5. We're funded. And so now we just get to break stretch goals and have some fun. So, good times.
Awesome.
And I'm shopping on ink as we speak. I like that scarecrow cover, man.
Yeah. It's an actual scene in the comic, but it's not drawn yet. So,
Ooh.
It's one of my favorite covers that we've had made so far. So,
I was gonna say I don't have this one. I need it. Oh, and you have shot glasses. Do you have is that a glow in the dark cover? It is from Scales, or is it
for Scales?
Yeah.
So the regular cover is not for the regular color. Wow, color. The cover is the same as the glow in the dark cover from the Scales campaign. It's just we added the glow in the dark shape thing that you needed. But yeah, all of those comics are coming hopefully this week because Comics Wellspring actually called me today, which was
they did.
Yeah, because I was like, hey, I put a rush on this, and they're like, this one lady's like, oh, I didn't see the rush because the one thing that I didn't put a rush on was the foil cover because I want it done correctly. Because I've never had that done before, And she's like, "Oh, it looks really awesome." I was like, "So it's ready then?" She's like, "Yeah." So you want me to just send all that? I was like, "Oh,
So then
okay.
just refund me my extra money that I paid to expedite
yeah,
it.
yeah." Because I told Dylan, I was like, "Shouldn't they like pay me since like I paid for the rush after they told me to pay for a rush, and then they didn't do it as a rush job?" And he's like, "Yes, you should try to do that after they
Yeah, of
send
course.
you all the comics."
Yeah, make sure that they're shipped first.
Yeah.
Show me the
Hi.
money. Yeah, there's always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Printers and post and the boxes.
Yeah.
We have a couple of issues because a couple of our boxes they didn't think out right well. I don't know, something was hit on and we have to get back like 20 issues or something like that. Were destroyed.
Yeah.
So, but that always happens.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is this also Comics Wellspring? Or somebody else? I didn't hear you
What's
say.
that?
So which printer was this? I didn't hear you say which printer.
Which printer was the one that the books got damaged, Christian?
Oh no, it's one in Europe, so I highly doubt you're gonna use that one.
Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense.
No, but we always work it out with them. It's not a big issue. But the thing is that they have to come overseas, and it goes by boat, and
Yeah.
let's and carrying, not carrying.
It
And
gets
we were lucky
touched.
because our book is hardcover, so it wasn't that many problems with it.
Yeah.
But the thing is with the hardcover, what you guys know is the weight.
Yeah.
So it's
Yes.
always gonna be more heavy.
Yeah.
So
I gotta do that at some point.
always lots of fun. I remember when I was after I finished fulfilling everyone, and I started fulfilling your for example your copy, Greg, and everybody's all the artists, because I had the brilliant idea of, hey, I should send a couple of copies to everyone. And of course, there are like 25 people in that book, so it's
Yeah.
like 50 copies I have to send, and like everywhere I have to send to Japan, to LA. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That one, too.
York.
Yeah, to New York. Well, that's one of the cheap ones.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's really
Yeah.
cool that.
yeah. The Japan was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really
But
cool that
hey,
I had a
everything
story in a different person's book and not just mine. So yeah, it was cool. And it's in Spanish. There's a version that's in Spanish, which
Cool.
was
And you haven't seen the Japanese one. The Japanese was a lot of fun too.
yeah, I
very
can't read that.
Yeah. Nah, you don't need to. You have the other one, so you can always
So we'll start with Lori.
Here
So
we go.
you have Path of the Pale Rider.
Yes.
So what's that about?
Oh, if people are unaware, Path of the Pale Rider is a Western apocalypse comic book series where death has been broken. So your body can die, but your soul, your energy, it doesn't leave your body upon death. So you get to experience your own decay phase. It's kind of cool. It's only the cool cats do it. And it's people, it's animals, it's insects, fish. Nothing dies correctly anymore. And so when we start the series, we're 10 years into that apocalypse. Things have devolved back to the Wild West. And we're following a cowboy who's like the last guy still looking for the answer to why the dead no longer die. We have comics. We have fan interactive experience. We do riddles. We do short films. We do hot sauce. We do crazy things. We got secret rewards, etc., etc. No. We're out there. We'll just say that much.
Yeah. I like the whole bear, half dead thing.
Yeah, he's that's Big James, and he's pretty much smacks you in the face in issue 1, and then everybody falls in love with Big James. There's Big James everything merch at this point. We have pins, we have buttons, we have shirts, and we have everything Big James, and people just want more.
Do you
What?
have puppies?
We do have a look.
Yeah, you do.
We got the plushie. Thanks to Carissa Grant, because I wasn't gonna do them, but she insisted that I do them because she wanted one. So everything Big James. So Yeah. Oh, and Greg, we got a new interior artist for this
Oh.
issue, which was super scary to make that change, but it was the right time for it. Marco DeFio, who did the last 4 issues, is incredibly talented and has this opportunity on the horizon that could drop at any time. And when he and I talked about what was coming, it was like, you have to do it. You have to, you know? It's one of those things that it just doesn't fall in your lap every day. So his time is so limited that we were
Yeah.
looking at our time frame for Path of the Pale Rider, and there just wasn't enough Marco time to go around. So I looked at a few different artists, but I was talking with Gilbert pretty early on. He had done a pinup for us for the trade paperback, and he did this other book called Waiting with Matt Chambers, who was our current colorist, and it's fabulous. So since the two of them had already worked together, and I knew Gilbert's attention to detail, especially with the undead characters, I was
Yeah.
like, what do you think about coming on to Path? And he's so excited to be a part of the team. He's just knocking it out of the park. You like my shirt, my new shirt?
Yeah, I like the Oregon Trail thing there.
Yeah, we got a sense of humor. We got a jigsaw puzzle this time around. Super excited. I'm gonna make those.
And
Nice. More coming.
Printify actually makes those. You
What's
just
that?
Printify. It's like a drop shipping service. They make those. I don't know how like the quality is, but
Well, I looked at a bunch of them,
Mhm.
and they start at like $30 a pop.
Yep.
And so, in order for me to get the price down, I decided I was going to make them myself.
Oh.
So, I ordered and in fact, I just posted something. I got it today. I got a gang sheet of sublimation iron-ons, and so there's 12 iron-ons for that, and then I have some hat iron-ons as well. So, when I get the hat done, I'm going to throw them on the campaign. But look, this is Gilbert, and he's so excited to do his first cover. He did it traditionally, and the original art is on the campaign. So if someone is looking to purchase a piece of our history, it's in the add-ons. There's only one. And then I opened up all the previous t-shirts on the campaign as well. So if you wanted like the Big James hoodie or any of the previous t-shirts, we have a choose your own adventure book. It's always a great add-on just because it's that fun time where you get to put on the hat and boots and see how long you can survive in the apocalypse. So see what I mean? We got Big James everything. We got Big James Care Bear sticker. We're unlocking a poker deck as we go every 50 backers. We got Big James poker card we just unlocked. You can see the theme here. All the previous poker cards are also in the add-ons. So if you're here, to stay and you want to build your poker deck with us, you can add them all on. We're about to unlock that next. That's what I'm assuming is next, that we will get to the horror bundle first. We have a PDF bundle that we always unlock, and I have a bunch of them. So this is just the first one. And as we unlock more stretch goals, I'll unleash more of those PDF bundles. I have Greg's in there as well. So we usually do like PDFs so everybody gets it. So the digital and the physical backers. And then we usually do like merch. And then I have an experience, which is called the Slice and Dice, which this is hilarious. I let people name like a pumpkin and pick and they vote on a weapon of destruction in a survey. And then I go on my show and I destroy the heck out of whatever. The pumpkin was named Ichabod Craven because we destroyed it in October. So the last one we just did was Penelope Pineappleton because Bridgerton is the thing right now. And she got sledgehammered to smithereens. It was great. It was good fun. Here's an example of the back covers that we do that are riddles. So these are always standard with us. You can interact with the world like it's real. So like this one, for example, if you are able to translate and solve the riddle, something shows up in your mailbox from a character.
Oh,
yeah. Cool. And then we have like the next one is a QR code scavenger hunt. If you just got to find the right one. So it's not really a riddle, but it just takes you to a bunch of YouTube like trailers for like Westerns and zombie movies. And I got silly stuff in here. I have He-Man singing 4 Non-Blondes, but there's one of these that will take you to a hidden video that we created that looks like it's the Undead Underground teaching you how to do something. You know what I mean? And then this one, if you figure it out, it's a working
Wow.
phone number. You can call it, and there's somebody on the other line. Well, it's not a person; it's a recording, but it's Path of the Pale Rider related. You got to do it. You got to do it. Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll be having another one of those. I have plans. And then these are the short films. You guys can really dive deep into the lore of Path of the Pale Rider. We have conspiracy theories built in. We have undead resistance. We explore like what happens to a nuclear family in this one. You know, like when the head of the household dies. What does that look like? You know what I mean? When someone is decomposing and losing their memory and becoming a threat, you know? And then of course there's a slice and dice video. I think I have I have the blooper video for Ellie Brock. And we have this character in one of the conspiracy film. At the very end, she gets run over by a car. And then I brought her back as an undead. It's funny and annoying. And she screams chicken nuggets and consequences at people. And so now my whole fandom has this like weird niche humor where they scream chicken nuggets at. We have chicken nugget related humor.
I wonder why there's like comments all the time that say chicken.
Yeah, and I feel bad for guests sometimes when the chat gets going and they start screaming chicken nuggets and consequences, and the guests are just like, I have no idea what's going on. So there's us as a team.
Impressive. Lori,
Yeah.
congrats.
Thank you.
A lot of
Impressive.
stuff. I
We
thought
do a
that
lot.
we were special because we had like a for Ink 2, we had like a decoder thing, so we made our own language and all that stuff. But
That's
you guys
awesome.
go like all out.
That's a goal of mine. That's on my bucket list, is do some kind of like decoder ring.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's nostalgic too, back to like, you know, the comic books where you could send away for sea monkeys and send away for the decoder ring. So I want a decoder ring. That's my editor, and then Matt Chambers, of course, and then Gilbert Perez. That's us.
Don't
This
forget
is how
to
we
check your
allocate our
logo.
funds. In case you're curious, it just goes towards the comic and future comics. The trade paperback is available internationally, and I put the link there to the collection, the Lori Calcaterra collection, on ASAP Imagination's website. You can purchase directly from them as well. So like Christian, he's in Europe. He could get it shipped to him from Europe because we have a location in the UK and one in Canada as well. So whichever one is the closest, that's usually where it ships from. No fanfare AI. That's all. What I got.
Did
And
you?
then I need
you
to-
type in Big James for like AI, and then this is what it would come out.
I got yelled at for doing this. They're like, you're using AI to say that you don't use AI. And I was like, it's supposed to be tongue in cheek, guys. I was like, we don't do any AI. And then I need to do this section, but I need the time. I could probably do it tomorrow. But I always list like campaigns that I suggest. So if you guys have campaigns that are running, or like John's going to have one tomorrow, I can get it on the bottom. So when people scroll through to the bottom, they can start to, you know, see other suggestions. So there you go. I suggest you watch the video. We're not going to do it here because StreamYard hates anything with audio.
Yeah.
But watch the video. It's crazy. You can see me shoot myself at the end. There you go. Take that how you will.
So,
Damn.
yeah, John, you're not launching until tomorrow, but what is your elevator pitch for?
John, you don't have a preview? We can't preview it?
No, well, I've got a video, but you just said the video don't videos don't work on
Is
here.
it a Kickstarter though?
Yeah.
Because
Where's the
if you go to preview, you can send Greg the link and we can actually look at it.
Yeah, that might actually work.
Let's see.
Yeah, put the link in the private chat.
And I'll follow it too.
Yeah. Well, actually,
Not the preview link. The preview link is like we get to look at the actual page.
Yeah.
Not just the. But yes, we will all follow the link because
Let's see.
send us the email when you launch, please.
There it goes.
There you go.
We still got a little
Also,
bit,
Victor
we're still
Medina.
working a
so
little
hot
bit
right
on
now.
it. We got a little bit to finish up tonight. I'm working with Ink Pup, you know, Kevin at Ink Pup. Yeah. Which the Kickstarter is looking really good. We did one. I did a Kickstarter about 2 months ago for Death Rain, and it was kind of a. I mean, we actually succeeded. We ended up killing our goal. I think we made up 220% of our goal, but the Kickstarter itself was a mess. You know, we started using somebody that was supposed to be a Kickstarter expert, and it didn't really work out real well. I tried to make the page. I didn't know what I was doing. Kevin actually came in and helped us out, and kind of redid the page and everything. But it all turned out good because, like I said, we broke our goal really well. But so this one I started off with Kevin. Kevin has been a big help, making the page and getting the page looking really well. Basically, it's the quickest elevator pitch for it is, what if Buffy was a 72-year-old grandmother? Instead of the power going to the young, young girl with Buffy or the big hero, it goes to the grandmother. She's 72 years old. Her companion is a 3-foot talking garden gnome named Tyrone. It's serious, but there's a lot of comedy in it as well. So the first issue is 48 pages. 32 pages of it is comics. We've got a letter page in there. We've actually got 4 pages of recipes from Alma in there. Alma was my mom. Alma was my mom's name, and a lot of this character is based on my mom. As far as I know, she never fought any vampires or demons, but I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, I was gonna say that of.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You don't know of for sure.
It actually turned out it means a lot more because my mom passed last May. So, having this come out right now is really kind of special for me, So, and this is an ongoing series. I've already got the next 2 issues written. We've started drawing the second issue, but I need to do the Kickstarter so I can pay the artist. I just retired last year, and I was able to do a lot of this out of my pocket when I had a decent job. But on Social Security, you don't make that much money to be able to pay all these people. So I definitely need to be doing Kickstarters for all my new projects coming up. So we open it. We start at 10. I've been doing a lot of posting on social media, trying to. I'm hoping that we jump out of the gate tomorrow and do pretty well to start off with. We've got some variant covers. We've got some drawn-in tiers for the next issue and stuff. That the drawn-in tiers is what really saved our Kickstarter on Death Reign. Over half of the money we made from Death Reign was from drawn-in tiers. If we had had those, we wouldn't have even funded, I don't think. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to do quite as many drawn-in tiers for Alma, but hopefully we'll get a couple of those because those fund, give you a lot of money real quick. Most of it is going to be the comics, I'm sure.
Yeah, I tried to click your preview link and it just kicks me to like the Kickstarter homepage.
Oh,
So,
Same here.
I don't know why, but the link is
It's,
actually it says edit preview, so maybe Kickstarter just doesn't like me.
John, when you go to the preview, you have to there's a radial button you have to flip over that says enable sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be it too.
But I mean, just based off of the pre-launch page, it looks fabulous. Like that cover art, the banner that you have, gorgeous. I want.
The artist on is Hernan Gonzalez, and he's an amazing artist. He's he is really good. The art in it it's black and white, but we've got if we reach $6,000, we're gonna do it in color.
Cool.
So I've already got like 4 or 5 pages in color because I was pitching it to Scout Comics at one point, and they wanted to see it in color. But then after everything that came out about Scout Comics, I don't really feel like pitching it to them anymore.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go the Kickstarter route and keep it this way.
Christian and I were talking about this earlier today, how the publishers are kind of back at Renaissance age is the old patron. The patron that was the church, and they paid you as an artist, but they had a hand in everything.
Yeah.
And so now it's Scout would be the patron, and you as an independent could just go to Kickstarter and avoid that if you wanted to. So it's the same as it's always been. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Everything changed to say the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but a lot of these
That's
companies, they talk a good talk about, how they respect the creators and stuff, but then, you start looking at their contracts and hear more things about them, and
Mhm.
you end up not having as much power over your own creation anymore.
Right.
All right.
He's
That
tough
chick
out
looks
there.
like the chick on your banner looks like she could very easily walk into my world. I'm just saying, we could do a crossover.
Yeah.
It would work.
So Grant,
Hey,
what's your elevator pitch for Beowulf?
so Beowulf is the trade paperback. It's reprinting the 6-part Beowulf trade paperback, or the 6-part mini series. And the elevator pitch is that it is about the guy you learned about in high school, but reincarnated in modern times as a 30-something slacker. And his sidekick is a cat with magic powers. I did post the link.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I have.
Dang, you've done 10 Kickstarters?
Yeah, well, let's see, 6. Well, one was unsuccessful. One, I literally accidentally clicked the button and then just deleted it because I'm an idiot.
That's my biggest fear always, to go look at where it says promotion and you accidentally launch your campaign.
It's unnecessarily
Oh, whoops.
complicated. I don't know why I always think that I'm going to click that button. Well, I guess once I did. But we did 6 Beowulfs. We did 2 Memoirs of the Morbid, which is my horror anthology, and then my other comic book is called League of Cryptids.
Cool.
I like the name.
Thanks.
Of course, he has a cat. That makes sense, Grant.
Yeah. So Mooney is the reincarnation of a very powerful wizard, but he's been reincarnated as a cat, and he's based on my real life cat, not the one that you guys saw earlier, but one who's actually since I created the comic book, he has since passed away. But there's a sweet little tribute to Mooney in the trade paperback too.
I'm just poking around, being nosy. Ooh,
But
art number 5.
It's a fun little comic book if you like fantasy, mostly modern fantasy, and if you like cats, you like cats acting majestic and more important than they actually are. You'll like Beowulf.
I feel like Greg can relate to that.
Yeah, a little bit with Mittens. Yeah. So the reason why our series Mittens became a thing was because my girlfriend's childhood cat. She told me the story of when that cat died. A bunch of cats showed up at her dad's house, a lot, not just 4 or 5, like every neighborhood cat you could think of. So I thought it was like a mafia funeral or something.
Cool.
So I took that and spun it into a sci-fi story, and that's where Mittens came from. So yeah, I'm definitely connected to your story.
Thanks.
Yeah, that's cool.
Cat people.
I like dogs too. I don't have dogs.
Well, I have a dog comic, A Girl and Her Dog.
Oh,
You don't want to see the dogs in my world.
no, I just want Big James.
You just want the bear, and everybody wants the horse to come back. Everybody's like, "Are we seeing Prince again?" I was like, "We already killed her once. You want me to kill her again? What's this ordeal, guys?" I'm like, you already were traumatized. If I bring in a dog and kill that one too, are you going to be traumatized again?
You could make a meme out of the Big James thing, because
What?
everyone's saying oh, well, I would rather be in the woods with a bear instead of
Yeah.
a guy. So what about Big James?
I was trying to figure out how I could capitalize on that moment with just
Yeah.
like memes,
Like, huh?
but I was just like, it's just too. It's too
Yeah,
drama.
people who say that haven't been close to a bear like a real one.
Yeah, that's the point. Like, I'm terrified of bears, and you can tell because I write that, right? Like, and what if you can't kill it and you just can't get away from it? Like, terrifying. But
We
no,
have black
like,
bears
I'd
in our
rather be with a
neighborhood.
bear. Like,
I see them all the time.
Yikes!
no, thank you.
Yeah, scary beast. I remember we had a kind of like a small incident in Pennsylvania but it was a cub. So imagine. So I said, I don't want to mess with their parents. This was enough. So no.
Yeah, if there's a cub, there's a mama nearby, and that's the problem.
Yeah. No, the cub was already scary enough, and it wasn't that big. But all those paws and all that. So no, sir. Thank you.
Just want some honey. Just give it some honey.
Is that all? It's like, what is that guy on TikTok where he's like, white women are afraid of nothing, and he's like, he's always talking like that, and then he finds these videos of these white women who like get a pit bull that's ripped up, and they like put bows on it and they feed it crackers and so like this is Beatrice. Like that would be some white woman and talking to the bear like, honey, you need some honey. Like, how are they still alive? I don't know.
So John enabled his page, so now I'm
let's look at
share it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's some good art. I was looking at it.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I really like it.
John, I thought you had an Alma already. Is this the first issue?
Yeah, this is the first issue. I actually had tried to kickstart this once before, and it didn't meet its goal last year. So it was only 24 pages in, so I just kind of expanded on it, added some pages, and made it bigger, and coming back for a second try.
Okay, because I was like, am I? Because I'm having deja vu right now.
Yeah.
Especially with that image. I was like, I've seen this before. You're like, but it's the first time. I'm like, man. What goal are you going for? How much?
2,000.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
more than doable.
It's better to go low and make more than ask for a lot and miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important. Not to ask too much right off the bat.
Yeah, when I did this the first time, I think I asked for like 4,000 or something, and I knew as soon as I did it, it wasn't. That wasn't the right thing.
Yeah, I'm not like a master at Kickstarter or anything, but there were a couple years ago. There were some people that were on our website, and they messaged me like, "Oh, I'm about to do a Kickstarter," and I'm like, oh, "Okay," and then they're like, "Well, you've done a couple." I was like, "Sure." Any advice? And then I was telling them things to do, and then they just launched it without any like pre-launch or anything. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, why is your goal 75,000? And
75,000?
Because it's gonna make a lot of money. And I was like,
75,000.
Yeah.
For real?
I'm not joking. That was the goal.
No.
Like, I don't know what you think you're gonna do, but
wow.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So did they make your goal?
And I can't draw a cube, but that art was not great. So I was just like, maybe you should hire an artist.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I draw everything. I said, all right. You're not gonna get.
But I mean, if you have the greatest art, that's a lot of money, dude. Like right out of the gate.
Yeah. And one of their reward tiers was like, oh, I'm gonna like fly two of my fans out to like a nearby Comic-Con, and then I can meet them. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
There's like a hotel and all this other stuff that you got like.
Well, I guess if you have 75 grand.
Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah.
Like
there's like 2 or 3 of those people that like ask me for advice, and I'm like, all right, why ask for advice if like you're not gonna listen?
They just didn't like what you told them
Yeah,
because it was reality based,
I'm like I've failed.
Wanted some fantasy.
I've
right?
failed 2 or 3 times. Like
They're like,
just
you didn't tell
learn
me
from
what I
my
wanted
mistakes.
to hear, so I'm just gonna pretend I didn't hear it. This is a gorgeous campaign. I'm really looking forward to this, John.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
the
better
Try
get
your
funded.
grandmother on the cover.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
God, isn't it the ultimate
Love it.
fantasy? Like, I want my grandma on a cover. Sorry, John, I don't got $500 though. Dude, I want to cosplay as that. I don't think my husband will let me get an undercut though.
So the idea is black and white, and then you have a stretch goal for color, right? That was
Yeah,
the whole idea.
yeah. If we reach 6,000, we'll do color. And there's actually a few examples of the color pages on here too, because I think I had like 4 or 5 pages done in color.
I'm sorry, did you mention the gnome aspect? Because I just
You
saw a
did.
gnome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's-
Tyrone.
He's like, I'm sorry, this is a gnome.
This is I'm definitely gonna back this.
How many
Yeah, I
pages
mean-
did you? How many preview pages did you put, John? Did you put the whole thing?
no, I think 6, 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was
no,
like,
it's not
who's
just
throwing
page
pages?
23.
Yeah, we're gonna change the early bird specials because we have 2 covers in black and white without the logo or anything, and we're gonna do those as the early bird specials instead of just
Cool.
a reduced price.
That's a thing that I've never done a campaign yet. Was an early bird reward or anything?
And you said you had someone put this together for you?
Yeah.
Yes. It's the company is Inked Publishing, I think.
Mhm.
Kevin Gilliot. He does that. That's what they do is they build Kickstarters.
Mhm.
I mean, I
He
get all
usually do a
kinds of
pretty good
messages.
job. He's helped me before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the tiers, especially the images are really, really clean and neat. Like, hey, this is what you get. Hey, this is the price. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he
that's
did a really good job. Like I said, when I attempted to do one on my own, it was a train wreck.
no, you definitely need help. I remember that. I always show when I do the.
panel. I'm sorry. It's just the lawn gnome swearing.
Oh, there's the color ones.
I'm easily entertained.
I do like it in black and white, but the color makes it.
Gosh.
Yeah. It makes a difference.
Yeah, I like it black and white too, but everybody, color is what most people want to go
No.
for.
Yeah.
What's the gnome's name?
Tyrone.
Tyrone.
Tyrone. Thank you. I was like,
You know,
"What's his name?"
normal
Is he an actual
gnomes.
ferryman?
Tyrone.
That's awesome. Wow, this is awesome.
Oh, is
If
this
you
the
don't
ink?
fund, if you don't fund this time,
Yep.
then there's an issue with people.
Yeah, I think 2,000. I think I actually ended up making a little over 2,000 when I first did it. But like I said, I ended up asking for like 4,000, and I had changed it at the last minute, right before I went live. I was like, no, I
Yeah.
want to ask for more. And as soon as I did, I was like, that was stupid.
No,
Right.
you'll have no problem getting funded this time. This looks fabulous.
Yeah, I changed our goal right before I launched Inc. So I was gonna do 1,500 because that's what I normally do, and I lowered it to 1,200 just because I've been watching Kickstarters like struggle recently.
Yeah.
More than
And I also changed like the shipping. I forgot what I asked for shipping on that. It was like $10 or something. It was way too much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like as soon as I did it, I had people emailing me saying, why are you charging so much for shipping?
was it an international person asking that, or was it a
No, it was actually like, the US.
Oh,
Yeah, I usually do 6.
That's what I did. That's what I'm doing for this is 6.
Yeah.
The shipping I heard so many horror stories about people that, lost money because they didn't ask for enough for shipping. And,
Hey,
it scared me so much that I panicked at the last minute.
I think $6. I mean, it helps to weigh things. John, I recommend using like a stamps.com or pirate ship.
Mhm.
I use Pirate Ship. I like that one better for me personally.
Yeah.
But
Pirate
you
Ship
can
is
put
better
in
than
like,
Stamps.com.
what's that?
Pirate Ship is better than Stamps.com.
I think so too.
Stamps.com charges you a monthly fee.
Yeah.
It sucks in between Kickstarters.
Yeah.
But
I canceled my stamps.com too. Yeah, I did.
yeah,
The
really
stamp-
the only. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you could put in the weight of the things and like give it like an address where you think it will go, and it will tell you how much it would
Okay.
charge. And it shops around for the best price. So if it's better at UPS, it'll suggest UPS, but it'll also tell you like the next least expensive option is like USPS and it's 80 cents more or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that would kind of help you gauge the shipping. But of course, if you don't have a book to know how much it weighs, it just, that's the hard part. It's
Yeah.
usually
Yes,
like, 8 ounces.
No, but you can always grab a copy that you have at home or something
Grab something
similar.
that's comparable. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The good thing with this too is it's already done, so I don't have to. The first Kickstarter, the other Kickstarter I was talking about, Death Rain, we're not anywhere close to being done yet. So, I if I have my choice, I'd rather be done and do the Kickstarter than not done.
Yeah. My Kickstarter I did in March was for Scales, and that book is done. I was waiting for the printer. So there's that.
Don't get me started. I have horror stories.
So I've been hearing a lot of stories about it. What's the printer that's being so late all the time? Is it Comics Wellspring?
Yes.
They're all late.
Yeah.
I use I can never pronounce it.
Mixum?
Yeah, and I've never had any problems with them. I mean, once in a while they've been a little late, but a little late for them is like a week. I usually get the books within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Just-
That's what I used.
What?
That's what I used was Mixum.
Mixum?
Yeah.
I had 3 print jobs out at 3 different printers at the same time because my issue 4 was with one printer and they were super late. Like they got the file in February and I didn't get those books until mid-April. Right. And then while that was going on, I had Kickstarted the trade paperback. So Mixum was working on those in the UK because that's where ASAP Imagination is. So they were doing that. And I had ordered the remastered issue number 1 from Comics Wellspring. They all showed up to me within like 1 week of each other. Isn't that crazy?
So for my last Kickstarter, I did overseas printing, which everybody says takes forever, but honestly, it doesn't really take that much longer than Comics Wellspring.
Right, because they tell you one thing, but they don't stick to what they tell you. So you might as well, right?
Yeah, it's funny. Like up until recently, I never had trouble with Comics Wellspring. I hope there's nobody from Comics Wellspring watching this and just like shaking their fists at us. But
Well,
they're gonna like sabotage all of our print jobs. But,
I don't have any books there.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, overseas printing is like half as much, and it takes pretty much the same amount of time as Comics Wellspring, so you might as well do that.
What company do you use, Grant?
I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. It's Quin. I'm assuming that's pronounced Quinn. I don't know.
Okay.
Was there a minimum that you had to order?
I'm sorry, I couldn't understand what you were saying.
Was there a minimum that you had to have printed?
So that's the other problem. You have to order a lot.
What are we talking?
Define a lot.
Like at least 1,000.
Ooh, that's a lot.
I don't have room for that. But
It's a lot of boxes.
Almost double what I did.
I mean, my philosophy was I ended up selling about 1,500 copies of Beowulf #1 eventually. Like between conventions, between Diamond, between Kickstarters, between, selling directly to comic book stores, I figured eventually I ended up selling way more than 1,000 copies of Beowulf #1. So I figured, I ended up ordering 1,500 copies of League of Cryptids #1. And, I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll be sitting in my basement.
The first comic I ever printed myself, I ordered 1,000 copies because I thought, oh, this comic's going to be a bestseller. It's going to, you know, I think I've still got boxes of it in my closet.
Oh, really?
No, if you more or less know your numbers, the thing is the storage until you get them, you know, until you get them through. But they're single issues, right? This is a single issue. It's not a trade backs. Well,
Exactly.
it's not that bad then. Benzene is the addition, and Benzene, for example, 1,000 of hours. Greg can attest to this. That's like a lot of boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it came in 9 boxes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are they all the same cover?
Yeah. And they're all sitting in my living room right now, driving my wife crazy. I mean, I'll move them to the basement eventually. I mean, we have a really super dry basement, so I think we should be all right.
At least you have a basement.
Yeah.
I live in Florida. Can't happen.
Yeah, I live in Louisiana, so there's going to be no basement.
No basement.
Yes.
We have outdoor boxes, like the garden ones. So we have a couple of those,
Yeah.
and they're really. We were scared a little bit because here rains a lot, so this is gonna get wet. But no, it's just perfect. Because good.
Shrink wrap it all.
Yeah, no, we don't really need it. It's like because I use it for. I remember when I bought it the first time, I used it like for the tools, stuff like that. And then I said, oh, maybe I can put books here, and yep. So now I have 3.
Yeah. If I had a shed or something, then I would probably
Get some mice.
Yeah. Anytime see, I'm too nervous to put mine anywhere except for in one room and away from any doorway, away from any water source, and up off the floor, like on top of a Rubbermaid box. They're stacked.
Yeah.
Carissa lost like an entire room. It flooded, and I was like, "Oh my god, your books!" She was like, "No, they were up on a shelf." I was like, "Cause can you imagine just having all your inventory get water damaged?"
Yeah, that would suck.
They don't like it when there's a tiny crease in it, you know.
Yeah,
so.
people are like, "I want a different one." You're like, "Come on!" Oh, water damage.
All right,
Who
Brian.
did you leave off? Is Brian?
Yes, hi. So I'm Brian Wolf, creator of Grave Sitter, and I can give my pitch on that just as easily, hopefully, as anybody else. It is about a time in your life when you're working on something. In this case, Marty Saint is in a band with her best friends, but she's turning 27. Her friends are moving in different directions. They all decide to throw a birthday party for her at her place of work, which in this case is the most haunted graveyard in Los Angeles. And her job there as a part-timer is to keep the dead in their graves. So they have this Halloween concert, and all of the dead things start coming up out of the ground. So it's sort of a fight to protect her friends. There's a deeper thing going on. There's cultists. There's a plan. And she's just caught in the middle of it. And she's just a normal girl. She's not supernatural in any way. She just happens to be really good at this thing that she was taught to do by her uncle who works there.
I have so many questions. The cemetery knows that the things come up. That they come back.
It is a privately owned cemetery by a family that just collected them over the generations.
And so her job is to play zombie whack-a-mole.
Basically, and they're all not just zombies. There's zombies, there's ghouls, there's other monstrous things that she has to handle in different ways. They literally have binders that she has to go through to flip through. Oh, it's what time of year is it? How much salt content is in the ground? What do I have to use? So in this book, I did issue 1 came out. I funded it pretty easily. It was my first Kickstarter. I draw, I write, do all that stuff. My second book is now ready to go. I mean, it's technically the whole thing's already been drawn. It's just a matter of getting it printed. And I guess as far as the rewards go, I just have the books. I've got exclusive prints. And I do have a cameo reward where you can be drawn into the book in your own Halloween costume, and will either murder you or turn you into a zombie after you've been murdered.
Yes.
And we do this backup story, and So that is Gravesitter number 2, and we can bundle Gravesitter number 1 and Gravesitter number 2 together right now, and get it on out.
You're
Super
like-
cool.
I love the
Zombie
title. I
zombie
love the
whack-a-mole.
title.
Feel
Sometimes.
free to use that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like the VHS cover too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of fun just like playing with the vibes, like what if this was a movie that you just discovered in the Blockbuster, in the back shelf of a horror section, or what if this was a like a book that came out in the 80s and it's a little weather beaten. So I have a couple of prints like that.
It's cool.
It's
So
like
I've been
an
having a lot
old
of fun with the vibes.
cover to like flowers in the attic. You're like, what is this?
Yeah.
No idea what you just got yourself into.
Yeah, man, it's a good idea. It's a really, really good idea.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's a single story, so it's done in it's either 4 or 5 issues. I'm doing a little editing work on that to see if I can only make it 4 issues, but kind of long. I didn't think I had to edit myself, but I'm getting the feeling that maybe I just need to kind of wrap the story up a little more than I had. I was doing a lot of flashbacks and things. So it's interesting this Kickstarter journey is kind of interesting and building an audience, and I've got a lot of other projects. I draw and write it all, so
Wow.
hopefully this one goes just as well as the last one and everything's good.
Amen, brother.
You should definitely cross promote with John when you both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I'll throw an elderly woman in that cover. That sounds great.
Alma will throw she'll go in there and she'll happily
Oh, yeah.
whack a zombie.
Yeah, there's a lot of Buffy influence in mine too. I think, and there's this. Have you ever seen the film Delamore with Rupert? What's his name?
Rupert Grint.
I'm turning old.
You're
The fellow
turning
from My Best Friend's Wedding. Why can I not remember his name?
Oh, damn it.
Yes. It's catching. It's catching. But it's a good movie, and it was always in the back of my head that this guy had this job. They don't ever explain it. The dead just rise. He kills them again, and then he buries them again, and then they might rise again, and they don't really explain why that happens. That's just kind of his job, and that's just always been in the back of my head. And then I was just sketching one day, and I sketched this girl with this shovel axe thing, and I was like, maybe this is something, and it just kind of spun out of that.
A lot of zombies here, so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got lots of zombies. Yeah.
That's kind of your wheelhouse, Lori. So you guys are paired
Yeah,
up
it
or
is.
something.
Yeah. It's kind of where I live. Mhm.
I love horror.
It's like the ultimate Halloween comic. This one.
Gravesitter. Yeah.
And remind me, I don't know
Yeah,
if you guys
I'm
remember
hoping to
the
coincide
Adams
the last
Family one.
issue.
What?
Yeah. I'm hoping
There
to
you go.
coincide that last issue coming out on Halloween. That would be
Cool.
my dream.
Very cool.
That'd be my dream. We'll see.
Makes sense.
So, Christian, you have a campaign launching in July.
Yeah.
What is that
Fingers
about?
crossed.
Well, yeah, fingers.
Elevator pitch. This is the what if the story that Pinocchio it was placed in the future, and it's not exactly like a marionette like with strings and all of that, but it's a machine, it's a robot, it's an android, and this android was created by a robotics engineer, the TK Geppetto, and what he wants is like to reestablish some peace between the two factions. Eventually, I don't know. We'll talk about a lot about this, but eventually that's gonna happen. And I thought I wasn't gonna see it, but maybe I see it. And it's Machines and Men. And this is a robot that is that normally it looks like a robot. It has this mechanism that it can pass as a human being too. So what will happen if that puts in place there? And that's Pinocchio is the second series of the Unpopular Tales. That's the first issue we did back in the day, Red Riding Hood. And the whole idea is always to bring back those spirits of the classical folk tales with a 21st century spirit to it, and but with that same vibe, that same grit, and that's it. It's gonna be 4 issues, so hopefully we'll have the trade back next year for the fourth one, and it's drawn by a wonderful artist in Spain. I think I sent you the dossier, right, Greg?
Yeah.
You made
You
me draw a little bit of that.
You want me to share that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And so you see a couple of pages and the characters and all that. So it's inspired by a lot of things. There's a lot of influences there. Of course, Alita by the Angel, and that's a given. But you have like Bicentennial Man, you have iRobot, so you have Asimov, and you have Ghost in the Shell. That's a protagonist. So like 12, 13, something like that, preteen. That's one of the AI that as she's learning, she also has like AI to help her with issues. In this case, E2 is gonna be the one that help her with action and how to balance, how to fight, and all that. And then that's what the companion she's gonna get in this issue. As Ishtar, that's based on one of the robots from Artificial Intelligence, the movie, and that's like the plots of the numbers. That's the first page.
Gorgeous.
Yeah, that's Dumpster. That's where she's created, and it's a player influence of Blade Runner 2049. I love that part when they go to visit the dumpster, and we wanted to create something similar, and that's like she training and getting better at it, and a lot of action in it. And when she does, she looks like that. She looks like she's in trance or like meditating or something, but she's like battling a lot inside her head with the simulator stuff like that. So it's like I took from Star Trek a little bit there too, you know, the simulation room, but it's not a real simulation room. It's just she's just like acting it out. And of course, when the other sees that this girl is like really crazy, what are you doing there? And that's when she meets the other gang. This is inspired by the Bad News Bears, Engelbert. If you guys know that movie, it's a movie from the 70s about this baseball team, all outcasts. And you have Lex, that's inspired by Wally, obviously, a small robot. So you have it's a lot of influence and things you can recognize. Yeah, you see, but he's like a badass Wally version. Guns. And that's one of the covers, so that you can skip out all that because that will show in the campaign. That's
Okay.
No spoilers.
Yes, big spoiler.
Spoilers. I didn't go that far. I was like, nope.
Oh, eventually we show that.
Greg,
The
spoil
cover
it.
artist is a fantastic guy from Barcelona. He's a guy that just finished working Alien Romulus, so it's one of the big guns. We're very, very lucky to have him. He's a good friend. So, yeah, but he has done amazing things with the covers, like crazy.
That's beautiful.
It's cool. Yeah, that looks awesome.
I see a lot of like Mobius. I mean, maybe it's because it's European, but it's like I see Barbarella. I see like a lot of stuff in there. Like, I mean, just those, and like in that image right behind your head, like it's like it could be like a Mobius design. Like, it's very cool.
I will tell that to that. He's gonna be very delighted you say that.
Yeah, I see it.
No, Claudio is a traditional artist. Some of the perks are gonna be in the campaign are gonna be original pages. So he does like pencils and inks, original way, and then he scans that and then he does the color on the computer. But the art is all like old school, pen and paper and some long hours.
Yeah.
I like when they do that. It's so cool. It's just, old school.
Yeah, some of the pages are incredible. Well, some of it, most of the pages, he's a fantastic artist. We're really, really, really lucky to have him, and I've been working for him since the beginning almost. So incredible. As we were talking about Laura about this in her podcast this morning, like it takes a little bit longer, but the results are undeniable.
Amazing.
So I prefer that route.
How many here are artists? Am I alone?
That's just one.
There you
Oh, I mean, okay, sorry. I thought
Writer only.
Yeah.
Because I
Right.
respect my story and I had no intention of drawing it.
No.
Like,
If
stick
I draw
figure,
it, the woman sell a book.
no,
Nothing.
right?
I wrote myself, like that's what I was doing 10 years ago, and I could draw a little, and I
Yep.
was tired of letting other people
Mess it
kind
up.
of. I was tired of waiting on other people, so I
Mm-hmm.
just started doing it, and then it took a while to where I was like, I think I feel comfortable enough to show these things.
Yeah.
It took a long time, like
Yeah,
10
I
years.
was like, I would still be drawing it 10 years later. Like, you're gonna release that issue 1? Nope.
Yeah, it was tough to pull the trigger to just say this. I'm ready. I'm just gonna do it. It was tough, but I feel better now. So it's like, okay, I'll do it.
You are definitely a unicorn in this world where you can wear both of those hats. That's cool.
I'd be happy just editing, honestly. Like
You're
if I could do-
Give it all up.
No, that's why I got into animation. That's why I say, okay, I wanted to be able to control this somehow.
Mhm.
So, but again, it's painstaking time to do anything. Like to have a couple of seconds, that's like a 2-3 weeks work.
Yeah,
So
I
it's-
hand animated some stuff for the first time. That was crazy. I was like, I don't know how people do this.
It's a crazy job.
I
show us
also
some inked.
what?
Ink. You're gonna show us some from Ink this campaign?
Yeah. So we funded today.
Hurrah!
Yeah. Dylan finally finished the trailer. I was trying to have Josh do it. He was too busy with a bunch of other things. He's making mittens and other people's
Yeah.
projects. And then Dylan had his friend do it. His friend didn't know how to make a comic book trailer because he's never done that before. And I guess it's harder because he doesn't really know the story. So then Dylan actually worked on it, and it took him like 70 hours to do it. So yeah, this is the first time I'm showing the trailer. He actually made an update today on the Kickstarter, like, "Hey, the trailer's here." But this is like the first time. This is the second time I'll be watching it ever. So yeah.
Nice.
So
Scoop.
Yeah.
Damn. I
can see why.
I'll talk to Dylan. Maybe he does a couple of videos for hours too.
yeah, Josh, I would have liked to do it just because he can like animate stuff, but that costs money.
Mhm.
He's doing that for Mittens 3, but yeah, maybe for the trade for Ink, I'll have Josh actually animate it. But yeah, I really like the trailer, and I'm glad that there's now a trailer on the Kickstarter because that's the one thing that it was missing. And yeah, so go back Inc., go back Gravesitter, go back Path of the Pale Rider, and then when all the other ones, launch, go back all of those. Do it.
Okay. Okay. All right.
And then when
Just do it.
launches her
Okay.
100th Kickstarter tomorrow.
Who's?
Carissa, she
Oh,
just keeps on-
I thought you were saying it in the actual. Yeah. She's
No,
she launched on Monday.
yeah, it's like her.
It's issue 11.
Oh my god! So it's been 11 campaigns. Oh my god!
Yeah.
She's
And
only been doing this, like, a year.
she funded on Monday. So. Mm-hmm.
I'm not.
Wow.
The beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed.
Oh,
Look,
wow.
she did it again. I was like, I'm talking about Carissa, and she shows up. That happened this morning when we were on the brew. I was like, oh, and my bestie Carissa, and then she showed up. It's been
Double
going on
sleep.
all day, Christian. It's weird.
Yeah.
So I need to go play the lotto. It happened 3 times on my show, and I was like, oh, and so, and then they showed up in the chat.
Grant, when does your campaign go live?
Next Monday.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So a little bit of
Oh, is that why? My own personal stalker.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everybody for coming on and showing your campaigns and pre-launches, all
Thanks
the cool
for
stuff
having
that's coming.
Yeah.
Been
Yeah.
great,
for having
guys.
me.
Yeah, for having us, dude.
Yeah.
Let's do this sometime earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You were summoned. I said your name, and you showed up. Well, actually, Greg said your name. He's the one that mentioned you first.
All right. Well, yeah, that was the show, and now Carissa. Bye.
Like, you show
Thank you,
up and
Greg.
you all leave. We're like, bye.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Peace out.